So let's go through what we're seeing with market investors right now. We've seen Wall Street hitting fresh highs on Friday, 6 weeks of gains now for U.S. equities. Are markets pricing a Trump win?
Well, I think the markets have absolutely moved to a Trump win. It seems to be consensus on the buy side. The Trump trade is back, and it's because Trump does have a lot of momentum in the polls. What's happened is he's regained momentum. He regained momentum about 3 weeks ago, and since then, the polls have been doing what they always do in the final month, which is tighten. Today, Harris and Trump are tied in the swing states, literally 50-50. The markets have been pricing that in, although the bias on the buy side still and in the markets is that Trump is going to win. We're on the other side of that, but that's what the market's priced in.
Now, we're 15 days away from the election. Of course, you are on the other side of it firmly. You've been putting some of your own ground game behind the vice president. You do expect her to win, but what should market investors be focusing on as we come into the next 15 days?
So I think that if the vast majority of the buy side or investors are positioned for a Trump win and Harris wins, they're going to be disappointed. We will see an unwinding of the Trump trade. We saw that when she first became the nominee and had all that momentum. If you really want to take the other side of it and maybe be contrarian, the Harris trade is renewables, everything within renewables, EV, solar, wind, geothermal, hydrogen, and nuclear. But again, this race is very close. The reason I think Harris wins is if you look at early voting, we've had 14 million Americans vote already. 155 million voted in 2020, so about 10% more or less have already voted. We're seeing women vote at about 10 percentage points higher than men, meaning 53% of the breakdown of voting, early voting in swing states, is women, 43% is men. That is an incredibly positive sign for Harris.
Some green shoots there, as you say, but the polling is absolutely neck and neck. Right now it's 48-48. Why isn't your candidate pulling through?
I think the issue is the country's deeply divided. It is deeply divided, and you're finding that in the polling. What I think will happen is one of the two candidates is going to win this election by a bigger margin than the polling suggests. I think it'll be Harris because of record turnout by women, also record turnout by black voters and young voters. The problem with polling, as you know, and it's been a problem around the world, is it captures sentiment towards a candidate. I think on the sentiment issue, voters are divided. But what polling doesn't capture is turnout. And I think this is where Harris has the advantage with women, black voters, and young voters. I think she wins this election by a bigger margin than almost anyone's predicted.